The 10 most significant education study of 2020. We review hundreds of educational studies in 2020 and then highlighted 10 of the most significant overall topics from virtual learning to the reading walls and the decline of standardized tests, calling 2020 a turbulent year would be an understatement as the pandemic disrupted life across the entire globe. Teachers scrambled to transform their physical classroom into virtual or even hybrid one, and research slowly began to correct insight into what works and what doesn't in online learning environment around the world. Meanwhile, neuroscientists made a convincing case for keeping handwriting in school, and after closure of several coal-fired power plants in Chicago, research report a drop in pediatric emergency room visits and fever absences in school, reminding us that questions of educational equality do not begin and end in the schoolhouse door. 1. To teach vocabulary, let kids eat teach pen. When students are learning a new language, ask them to act out vocabulary word is fun or unless a child in a teach pen, of course, but a 2020 study conclude that it also nearly double their ability to remember the word months later. Researchers asked 8-year-old students to listen to words in another language and then use their hand and body to mimic the word, spreading their arm and pretending to fly. For example, when learning the German word Fox, which means airplane. After 2 months, these young adults were a remarkable 73% more likely to remember the new word than students who had listened without accompanying gesture. Researchers discovered similar, if slightly less dramatic, results when students look at the picture while listening to the corresponding vocabulary. It is a simple reminder that if you want students to remember something, encourage them and to learn it in a variety of ways by drawing it, acting it out, or pairing it with relevant images. For example, 2. Neuroscientists defend the value of teaching handwriting again. For most kids, typing just doesn't cut in 2012 brain scan of illiterate children reveal crucial reading circuitry flickering to life when kids handprints letters and then try to read them. The effect largely disappears when the letters were typed or traced. More recently, in 2020, a team of researchers studied all children 7th graders while they handwrote, drew, and typed, and concluded that handwriting and drawing produce telltale neural tracing indicative of deeper learning. Whenever self-generated more movements are included as a learning stages, more of the brain gets stimulated, and the researcher explained before echoing. In 2020 study, it also appears that the movement related to keyboard typing do not activate this network the same way that drawing and handwriting do. It would be a mistake to replace typing with handwriting, though all kids need to develop digital skills, and there is evidence that technologies help children with dyslexia to overcome obstacles like note-taking or illegible handwriting, ultimately freeing them to use their time for all the things in which they are gifted, say Yale Center for Dyslexia creatively. 3. The ACT Just Go Negative Score Face Plan. A 2020 study found the ACT score, which are often the key factor in college admission, shows a weak or even negative relationship when it comes to predicting how successful students would be in college. There is a little evidence that students will have more college success if they work to improve their ACT score. The researcher explained, and students with very high ACT score but different high school grades often fame out in college, overmatched by the rigors of university academic schedule. For Arabic reduced racial grading bias, a simple step might have undercut the pernicious effect of grading bias. A new study found articulate your standard clearly before you begin grading and refer to the standard regularly during the assessment process. 5. What do Code 5 power plants have to do with learning plenty? When the T Code 5 plants closed in the Chicago area, student absence in the nearby school dropped by 7%, a change largely driven by fewer emergency room visits, asthma-related problems. The stunning finding published in 2020 study from Duke and Penn State underscore the role that often overlooked environmental factors like air quality, neighborhood crime, and noise pollution have in keeping our children healthy and ready to learn. 6. Students who generate good questions are better learners. Some of the most popular student strategies highlight passengers, reading notes, and underline key sentences are also among the least effective. A 2020 study highlight a powerful alternative: get students to generate questions about their learning and gradually press them to ask more probing questions. 7. A 2020 study just in the reading was one of the most widely used and notorious reading programs. What did severe blow when a panel of reading experts concluded that it would be unlikely to lead to literacy success for all American public school children. 8. A secret to high-performing virtual classroom. In 2020, a team at Georgia State University compiled a report of virtual learning-based practice while evidence in the field is based in inconsistent. The report noted the logistical issues like accessing material and not content-specific problems like failure of comprehension were often among the most significant obstacles to online learning. It wasn't like students didn't understand photosynthesis of virtual setting. In other words, it was that they didn't find or simply the lesson of photosynthesis at all.